Good evening. If I could have everyone's attention, please.
Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank everybody for attending our reorganizational meeting on April 1st, 2019. If we could all stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance. Okay. Again, thank you all for coming. I'd just like to take note of the exits to the rear here and over to this side here. Okay. First, I'd like to read the annual organizational meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Monroe, Orange County, New York, is held at 7 p.m. this evening in our boardroom of the Village Hall at 7 Stage Road, Monroe, New York. Today, April 1st, 2019. First order of business is the monthly meeting calendar as follows. 2019 for the Board of Trustees, April 2nd and 16th, May 7th and 21st, June 4th and 18th, July 2nd and 16th, August 6th and 20th, September 3rd and 17th, October 1st and 15th, November 4th and 19th. November 4th is a Monday preceding the election day of November 5th. December 3rd and 17th, 2020, January 7th and 21st, February 4th and 18th, March 3rd and 17th, and then our reorg meeting, the first Monday of April, will be April 6th of 2020, with our meetings following the following day, April 7th, and on the 21st. All meetings will begin at 7 p.m. unless otherwise noted, ahead of time in our website and on Constant Contact. Rules of procedure. Resolved that the Board of Trustees shall conduct itself according to...
Mayor, do we need a motion for that?
Excuse me, yes, we do.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I was going to second for discussion. I know somebody had mentioned the April 16th was over spring break. I didn't know if people were away or no. Am I wrong?
I won't be here.
I wasn't sure. Thought that was, oh, here. Sorry, the last meeting somebody had mentioned that.
Okay.
Sorry. I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Thank you. Next order, rules of procedure. Resolved that the Board of Trustees shall conduct itself according to the Roberts Rules of Order, to the extent that Robert Rules of Orders are consistent with village law of the state of New York. I need a motion that we accept this.
I'll make the motion.
A second?
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Thank you. Next order of business, employee compensation. Resolved that the compensation for fiscal year 2020 for village employees shall be paid biweekly with the payroll period ending on Wednesday and checks being dispersed on Thursday. I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
A second.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Did we not change that?
We did. It's a week in advance.
It's still the week, Wednesday, Thursday, not the
We
day
pushed
after.
it back a week.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So first was made.
Second also.
And second.
Okay. Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried, thank you. Next order, official newspaper. Resolved that the official newspaper of the village board shall be the Middletown Times Herald Record. I need a motion.
I'll
second it.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried, thank you. Official depositories. Resolved that the official depository for the village board shall be Sterling Bank, 591 Route 17M, Monroe, New York, 10950. I need a motion.
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried, thank you. Independent auditor designation. Resolved that the firm O'Connor Davies LLP, 32 Forstertown Road, Newburgh, New York, is hereby designated as the independent auditor for the Village of Monroe's fiscal year, June 1st, 2019 through May 31st, 2020, in an amount not to exceed $25,000. I need a motion.
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 So carried. Okay, appointments. Um, The following appointments have been made for the boards. Trustee Conklin is appointed as deputy mayor for a one-year term. Trustee Hool was appointed as liaison for the police department and insurance. Trustee Conklin is appointed as liaison for the highway and water departments. Trustee Berenger is appointed as liaison for cable TV, street lighting, and Crane Park. Mayor Dwyer and Trustee Alley will act as liaison for the building department, village staff, justice court, and building maintenance. Trustee Berenger additionally will be appointed as liaison to the Monroe Joint Fire District. Trustee Hool is appointed as liaison for the Monroe Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Trustee Alley is appointed as the liaison to the Monroe Joint Park and Recreation Commission. Trustee Alley further is appointed as liaison for the Greater Monroe Chamber of Commerce. Mayor Dwyer is appointed as liaison for the village historian. I need a motion to accept those appointments.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried, thank you. Staff appointments. Resolved that Kim Zara is hereby appointed Deputy Village Clerk as per her job description on file in the Village Clerk's office for a period of 1 year, renewable on an annual basis. I need a motion that we accept that.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye. Next order of business, acting village justice. Resolved that pursuant to section 3-302 of village law, that David Hassan is hereby appointed to serve as acting village justice for the village of Monroe for the term of 2019 through 2020, and until such time as further appointment or reappointment is made. I need a motion that we accept that.
I'll make that motion.
Go ahead, Deb.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, thank you, sir.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Welcome aboard, Your Honor.
Following order of business, licensing authority. Resolved that pursuant to Village Code, Chapter 115, bingo and games of chance, permitting bingo and games of chance pursuant to general municipal law, authorizing the Board of Trustees to delegate an officer of the village authority in relation to issuance of a license, amendment, and cancellation of licenses, to conduct investigations and hearings, and the supervision of the operation of games. The village clerk is hereby designated to exercise such authority. I need a motion.
I'll make it.
Second?
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried, thank you. Resolved that, next order of business, these are miscellaneous appointments throughout the village. Resolved that Gary Parisi is hereby appointed chairman of the planning board for a period of 1 year.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Second. Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Thank you, Gary. Resolved that Paul S. Baum is hereby appointed chairman of the zoning board of appeals for a period of 1 year.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Thank you, Paul. Crossing guards, Anita Zelenoy for North Main Street and Eileen Lynch for Pine Tree. I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Thank you to both of them. Registrar of Vital Statistics, Town Clerk Mary Ellen Beams, Deputy Town Clerk Patricia Cash. I need a motion that we accept this.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Our village historian, long-term member, and historian Linda Burrows. I need a motion that we extend and continue using.
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Oh.
second.
Any further questions? Call the question.
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried, thank you. The following attorney and consultant appointments will be held on an interim basis until such time as the Board of Trustees can meet and assess the village's needs. Resolved, the board approved the extension of the contractual position of village attorney held by Elise Terhune of 2 Patterson Hill, Tuxedo, New York, as per job description outlined in the agreement on file with the village clerk as per fee schedule provided. Resolved that the Board of Trustees, excuse me, let me just, yes, I'll continue. Resolved, the Board of Trustees designate the following law firms to serve as alternate village attorney with regard to specific matters in accordance with the fee schedule listed in the current retainer agreements for the fiscal year 2019-20, and until such time as further appointment or reappointment is made. Elizabeth Cassidy, 7 Grand Street, Warwick, New York. Levinson, Renicky, and Ornstein, Central Valley, New York. Burke, Mealy, and Golden, Goshen, New York. Resolved that the Board of Trustees designate Kelly M. Norton of Burke, Mealy, and Golden to a contractual position of Zoning Board of Appeals attorney per job description on file with the village clerk for the fiscal year 2019-20, and until such time as further appointment or reappointment is made. Resolved that the Board of Trustees designate the law firm of Thomas, Strohan, Waxman, Pettigrew, and Maley of Hopewell Junction, New York, to the contractual position of Labor and Employment Counsel for the fiscal year 2019-20 in accordance with the fee schedule listed in the current retainer agreement. Resolved, the Board designate the law firm of Remetta and Remetta of Goshen, New York, as special prosecutor for all aspects of vehicle and traffic prosecutions in the Village of Monroe Justice Court for the fiscal year 2020. Fee schedule is on file in the clerk's office. Resolved that David Levinson will continue as legal counsel for the planning board on a fee basis. Resolved that the Board of Trustees designate Hawkins, Delafield, and Wood of 1 Chase Manhattan Plaza, New York, New York, to represent the Village of Monroe as bond counsel for matters requiring bonding services for the fiscal year 2019-2020, and until such time as further appointment or reappointment is made. Resolved that the Board of Trustees designate Munistat Services of Roosevelt Avenue, Port Jefferson Station, New York, as financial advisor of record for fiscal year 2019-20 until such time as further appointment and reappointment is made. Resolved the Board designate Lankin Tully of Goshen, New York, to serve as village engineer on a contractual basis. I need a motion that we accept these appointments as written and read.
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Thank you. Mileage reimbursement allowance. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees has determined to pay a fixed rate for mileage as reimbursement to officers and employees of the village who use their personal automobiles while performing their official duties on behalf of the village. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board shall approve reimbursement to such officers and employees at the rate of 58 cents per mile per 2019 IRS schedule. Section 2, that this resolution shall take effect immediately. I need a motion.
Make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Fireworks display permit designee. Resolved upon approval of the village board, the village clerk be appointed as the permit authority for the issuance of permits for the public display of fireworks under and pursuant to the conditions and restrictions set forth in Penal Law, Section 189-2, but such permit shall be issued only after application shall have been filed together with an insurance policy in the amount of $1 million, naming the Village of Monroe as additional insured on the certificate. Village has the right to refuse any insurance company that is not A or above and licensed in the state of New York. I need a motion.
Go ahead. I'll second it.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Thank you. Next order, attendance at schools and conferences. Whereas there is to be held during the coming fiscal year, the annual meeting conducted by the New York State Conference of Mayors and other municipal officials for municipal officials in NICOM's Main Street meeting, including webinar, seminars, and classes. The training school for fiscal officers and municipal clerks conducted by the New York State Conference of Mayors and other municipal officials. The following county association meetings: Orange County Clerks Association, Orange County Association of Towns and Villages, the Tri-County Chapter of New York State Building Officials Conference, Hudson Valley Waterworks Associates, and Safe Roads Programs. Further planning and zoning seminars, police department seminars, and training schools in parks and recreation schools. Whereas it is determined that the Board of Trustees that attendance by certain municipal officials and employees at one or more of these meetings, conferences, or schools benefit the municipality. Now therefore be it resolved that the following officers and employees are hereby authorized to attend the above schools upon approval of the Board of Trustees and at least 30 days prior to registration. Mayor and trustees, village clerk, deputy clerk, treasurer, building inspector, assistant building inspector, water plant operator, DPW supervisor, planning board members, zoning board members, police department personnel, planning board secretary, village attorney, and all union and non-union personnel. This resolution will take effect immediately. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Thank you. Payment authorization for certain recurring expenses. Resolved pursuant to Section 5-5246 of Village Law, the Board of Trustees does hereby authorize the treasurer to make payments in advance of audit on claims for recurring expenses for public utility services, postage, freight, and express charges, advertising in the Times Herald Record, and workers' compensation tail claims. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
A second, please.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried, thank you. Next order, holiday schedule 2019-2020. In 2019, the following days are noted as holiday schedules for the Village of Monroe. Memorial Day, Monday, May 27, 2019. Independence Day, Thursday, July 4, 2019. Labor Day, Monday, September 2nd, 2019. Columbus Day, Monday, October 14, 2019. Veterans Day, Monday, November 11, 2019. Half-day Thanksgiving Eve, Wednesday, November 27th. Thanksgiving Day and the following day, Friday, November 28th and 29th, 2019. Half-day Christmas Eve, Tuesday, December 24th, 2019. Christmas holiday, Wednesday, December 25th, 2019. In 2020, New Year's Day holiday, Wednesday, January 1st, 2020. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Monday, January 20th, 2020. Lincoln's birthday, Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. President's Day, Monday, February 17th, 2020. I need a motion that we accept these holidays for this year.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried, thank you. Our procurement policy. Purchase contract limit is $20,000, and Public Works on contracts limited is $35,000. Estimated amount of purchase contracts required, 3 written fax quotations for RFPs of $3,000 to $20,000. Estimated amount of Public Work contract method is $5,000 to $35,000. The actual procurement policy is on file and is available, I believe, as well on our web. Anybody interested in knowing the details of it can certainly reach out and/or view that on our website for the details. But the policy itself is an important policy and one that we need to follow, right? So we need to acknowledge this. I need a motion.
I'll make it.
Second?
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried, thank you. The organizational meeting of 2020, that the next organizational meeting will actually be on April 6th at 7 p.m. I need a motion that we set that.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Okay, village position roster terms from the elected officials. Neelis Dwyer, Mayor, 4 years, 4/1/18, 3/31/22. Trustee Conklin, 4 years, 4/1/16, 3/31/2020. Deborah Berenger, trustee, 4 years, April 1st, 2016, March 31st, 2020. Trustee Cariali, 4 years, April 1st, 2018, March 31st, 2022. Trustee Dory Houle, 4 years, 4/1/18 through 3/31/22. Forrest Strauss, Village Justice, 4 years, 4/1/16 through March 31st, 2020. Appointed officers, Ann Margaret Baxter Clerk, 4-year term, 4/1/16 through 3/31/2020. Kim Zara, Deputy Clerk, 1 year, 4/1/19, 3/31/2020. Catherine Murray, Treasurer, 4 years, 4/1/16, 3/31/2020. David Hassan, 1 year, 4/1/19, 3/31/2020. Not quite sure what that is, but. Planning Board, Gary Parisi, 5 years, 1/1/17, 1/1/2022. Fred Cox, Planning Board member, 5 years, 1/1/15, 1/1/2020. Marilyn Carlich, 5 years, 1/1/16 to 1/1/2021. Geraldine DeAngelis, 5 years, 1/1/18 through 1/1/2023. Jeff Boshier, 5 years, 1/5/16, 1/1/2021. Zoning Board of Appeals, Dan Margada, 5 years, 4/3/18 through 3/31/2023. Richard McCarthy, 5 years, 12/2/14 through 12/2019. Jerry Martuselli, 5 years, 12/12/16 through 12/2021. Paul Baum, 5 years, 12/1/15 through 12/2020. Howard Zuckerman, 5 years, 11/1/18 through 11/2023. Monroe Joint Park Recreation Committee members, Anthony Vaccaro, 5 years, 12/2017 through 12/2022. Cale Connor, I think that's Conklin, 5 years, February 1st, 2019 through February 2024. Jonathan Novak, 5 years, 12/15/15 through 12/19. Emily Witten, 5 years, 1/2016 through 12/2020. And then we just recently have an open spot. Anybody interested in volunteering on this committee would be wonderful. So that's that.
Park and Recreation.
All right, I think we've gotten to everything. Okay. That's it. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. Thank you all for attending.